Beyond 60.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 60. We are here. We're down to Jeff.
No, we need Jeff.
Jeff is out of the office at an event for Resistance 2.
No way, that game's not coming out.
He is seeing Resistance 2 either right now, well, maybe later on today. I think he's probably just got to the airport.
Is he in the LA area? Is that where this is at?
Yeah, it's at apparently some hotel, but I don't know where exactly he's going to be doing it. But
so if you're in LA, look for Jeff Haynes.
Yeah, so Jeff is not in the office, but I am here. I am Chris Roper, editor-in-chief of the IGN PlayStation team. Greg Miller, he is present, as is editor Ryan Clements, coughing up a lung.
Hello. Sorry.
So let's get on with the show. We have a very big day today for many reasons, but let's get right into the Roper Report.
It's time for some news.
So lots of release date announcements and those sorts of things. Wipeout HD is coming out on September 25th on the PlayStation Network. It's coming out $19.99, $19.95, whatever. $19.99, I guess it is. $20 anyway. I have played it.
How is it going?
I'm probably about halfway through.
I heard the trophies are cake. Easiest platinum you'll ever get, I heard.
So there's a couple easy trophies to get right off the start, like your first barrel, they give you a trophy. Your first gold medal in any race, they give you a trophy, and you get trophies for getting medals, any medal, bronze, silver, gold, in all of the races in each one of the whatever they're called, the divisions or whatever. And there's like
circuits.
8
there you go.
Circuits. Yeah, there's like 8 or 10 in the game. And so getting those isn't too bad. It starts obviously getting harder. But then there's some that are like, you need to get 100,000 loyalty points with one ship to get one of the trophies, and it's like I have like 6,000 or 7,000 loyalty, and I've been using the same ship every single time. So I got a long way to go to get that one. There's one of them to get all of the skins for all the ships, which will take a long time. It's online with that one because it's all loyalty based. There's one to get golds in every single race on the thing. There's one to get like 75 laps into a zone race, which I can get like 30, maybe 40 zones in, and I can't do. And that was a pretty good one for me, and that was right from the start. But yeah, some of them are pretty difficult. But so far, I like the game a lot. Our UK guys reviewed it and gave it a 9 too. So
I'm a little disappointed. I thought it was coming out today for some reason.
You got Beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond.
Next week, though, on the PlayStation Network, we will see the Burnout Bikes pack get released, and that's also good stuff. So look for that. That's free. So if you have Burnout Paradise, and if you don't, go get it. But be on the lookout for that. Brothers in Arms: Hell's Highway is apparently frozen over.
What?
Hell's Highway has gone gold.
I don't believe it.
So
that game's never coming out either.
Apparently it is. White Knight Chronicles is coming out in Japan on Christmas Day, and that is December 25th. For those of you who don't know,
it's a big shopping day.
It's
Are they calling
a lot of people are in stores.
They're calling
that day.
it White Knight Chronicles now, as opposed to White Knight Story.
That's what it is. White Knight Chronicles.
Huh.
Infinity Ward is indeed making, as everybody guessed, Call of Duty 6.
Yes.
So you have Treyarch doing Call of Duty
World
5, Call of Duty World of War, and then Infinity Ward is doing 6. So it seems like
I hope
Infinity
6
War
is in the future.
That would be awesome. So it seems like
I heard it's a tie-in with the Terminator movies.
That would be rad. You play as John Connor.
Yeah.
That would actually be really cool. If Infinity Ward made a Terminator game in the future with the battle, God, that would be awesome.
That would actually be pretty awesome.
It would be incredible. Shooting down hunter killers, man. Dude, there was this. So this is a little bit off topic, sort of, but Terminator. There was this old PC game just called Terminator, I think, where you played as John Connor coming back in. I forget which movie this was, around 1 or 2, but you came back and you had to find Sarah Connor and then do something with her. I could never figure out what you were supposed to do with her, but you went and got her.
Sure you weren't Kyle Reese?
No, maybe you were Kyle Reese. I don't know. Whoever you were.
And I know what you were supposed to do with Sarah Connor.
All right, well, yeah, you're probably Kyle. Anyway, you were somebody. And you would find her, and it was... This was... I forget what year I was playing this. This would be probably the early 90s.
Yeah.
This was before I went to college, for sure. And... It was an open city. It was a giant open world. I don't remember if there's pedestrians or whatever, but you would go find Sarah Connor and try to get her somewhere, and then the Terminator would be on the map. And if you found you, he would dominate you, and you basically had to run from the Terminator. And it was kind of a cool concept. But anyway.
I remember Terminator on the Sega Genesis. That was cool, but it was only like 4 levels, but they were tough. But the game that will always stand out to me is Terminator 2 on the Game Boy, because I was young when I had it, but I was a huge Terminator fan. Like, me and my friends were super over the top for Terminator. So Terminator 2, like, the whole thing was that game started with you in the future, and you had to rewire, Schwarzenegger to send him back to save you as a kid or whatever. And, like, I remember that being the hardest thing, and I only got past it once. And then, like, that's, like, right in the beginning, right? You get into the future, you work your way into the lab, rewire them, and then as soon as as you rewired them, I only did it once. You got to the next part, and it was driving the bike through like the the water trench or whatever, and there was all this crap in the road, and like I immediately hit something and died because I was so excited to finally gotten past the freaking rewiring. I hit a box and was dead.
You know, the stupidest Arnold Schwarzenegger, kind of movie game that I ever played was Predator on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
Because in that game, I never really got very far. First off, you were fighting bugs or something. It's sort of like the Rambo game, but there were pits that if you missed the jump, you'd fall in the bottom of a pit and you couldn't get out, but it wouldn't kill you.
Yeah.
And there was a button, it might have been start or select or something, that would just kill you. There was intentionally a kill button because you would fall into a pit, you couldn't get out, you'd have to kill yourself and then start the level over again.
Wow.
I don't know why they just put spikes there or something that would just kill you, but they made you kill yourself.
Well, that wouldn't be realistic. In the jungle, there's not that many spike pits.
Yeah, but when did Arnold Schwarzenegger kill himself in the movies? That didn't make any sense. All right,
I remember the Jurassic Park game where you played as Dr. Grant, and at the end you get to play a raptor.
Was that the one where you did I remember it on the Genesis where I had to take a boat like through a multi-level like water.
I don't remember a boat.
I like the one in the arcade where you had like a little gun and you're like in a Jeep and you shoot things.
I just remember playing as the raptor.
Okay.
You're hunting Grant.
Very good.
Yep.
Back onto the news. Life with PlayStation is up. And it sucks. It's stupid. So, okay, it seems like it's sort of... It seems like it could be cool.
In other news, it blows.
If there's more stuff added, it could be kind of cool eventually, but right now it's stupid.
I think this sums it up. Here's the official Porter Novelli release about it. Hello, blah, blah, life with PlayStation. Imagine being able to wake up to your PlayStation 3 to see if you need to pack an umbrella for the day. You can't do that. It only gives you the current temperature or whenever it took the reading of temperature and cloud conditions. There's no 5-day forecast.
There's no even 1-day forecast.
There's no what's going to be in 4 hours. You could easily have a rain shower coming in.
Maybe we just haven't discovered it yet.
No, I went through this thing the best I could. Granted, I'm dumb, but I am as dumb as most normal gamers and could not find it. It promises cloud imagery, which it has, but the clouds don't move. They're just static. So, I mean, when that gets updated, it's updated. It also says it's going to have weather information, which, again, it kind of does with, it's 48 degrees and wherever.
It's got a little live picture showing you what it looks like in cities.
It has live camera images. I'm putting air quotes around this. Live camera images partially provided by the Earth Television Network.
The Los Angeles picture right now this morning shows that it's dark out.
Yes, they are not updating this with any regularity, apparently. There's news headlines from Google News, which take a second to load, which I was not happy about.
No.
And the main thing about it is, if you look at this map, there are no cities in the Midwest. Missouri, Kansas, you got to look at Chicago and hope that applies to you, because there's nothing there to see. This thing is on the PlayStation 3 and just got Floridora'd beyond by the Wii's weather thing.
Yeah.
The Wii weather thing, I mean, the Wii thing isn't perfect, but it's way better than this. I can see forecasts, I can see 5 days. This is a joke.
What I think is cool is that here's another problem with it, is that to install it is a convoluted process. You need to go, first off, there was the 2.43 update up, which I don't know if it has anything to do with this at all. Maybe you have to install it first, but that's not a mandatory install
Was that
right
the
now.
one that was on the blog yesterday that was only mandatory for Japan? Or I mean,
maybe.
The story is that me and Roper heard it was up, came in today, turned on our systems, didn't see anything about it.
Yeah.
So I jumped over, did a manual, hey, look for an update. They found an update. But I think this is the one we didn't need to have.
Okay, so maybe you don't need to have the update. But in order to install Life with PlayStation, you have to go to Folding at Home.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem to connect in any fashion, really. You go to Folding at Home, it says, hey, there's an update. Then it downloads the update, it says it installs. Then you click on it again, then it says, now it's installing. Yeah. And then it says it's changing its name to Life with PlayStation. Then it becomes Life with PlayStation, and then that's how you launch it. Which is fine. It's cool because Folding at Home runs in the background while you're looking at your current weather because you can't stick your arm out the window. But and it's it's nice that you're curing cancer and all that. But the install process is very convoluted. There should have been a firmware update that went ahead and replaced it for you automatically.
Yeah, because I mean, like you figured it. Obviously, you Podcast Beyond listener know all about this thing now, but the normal Joe Schmo PlayStation 3, your Jason Rosenbaums of the world will have no idea this exists.
Yeah. So then we're going to go do it. It's stupid.
Jason
they don't need to know it exists because it's dumb right now, but...
He didn't know what trophies were.
Yeah. Anyway, and then the last piece of news has nothing so much to do with Sony specific, but we are relaunching IGN.com today.
Yep.
And all of the channels, of course, obviously.
We are merging with Xbox, so there will just be the PS360 channel.
Yeah, PS3, PS Wii 60.
Yeah,
no, that's not,
Wii's getting included too.
That's not true at all. No, but we are totally relaunching the way the site looks, so go up there today. later on today, assuming that there aren't any last-second bugs.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you've downloaded this, chances are the site launch went well.
It should be up by the time that you're listening to this, unless Ryan's very fast in editing this thing.
Which Ryan is pretty quick.
Yeah.
I will give them that.
But,
well, it depends on how much in a rush I am.
But a lot of people download this from iTunes, though. May not check the site every day. So if you get it and you haven't seen the site yet, go over and check it out. New fresh look. Lots of stuff.
I'm excited
going up there.
about it, actually. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, if you haven't seen today's update, we should have, unless things fall apart, we should have a Resistance 2 cutscene going up, as well as new SOCOM stuff, level fly-through, Q&A for that, so pretty cool stuff coming up
I wrestled Maria, too.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of cool stuff going up on the site today. Let's get on with the show. That was the end of the news.
Just want to throw this out there. There is a really gross-looking hair right next to your hot
that's
chocolate.
what I saw earlier, too.
I've just been looking at it.
Right there.
Oh, man,
your hand almost went right on top of it.
I got to blow this way.
I had to move.
No, not towards me.
Oh, the paper. No, maybe not.
Okay.
It's on me. It's on me.
It's better than in my hot chocolate, so I can drink it.
Hey, remember when your hot chocolate spilled?
Yeah.
Today, I was carpooling with Craig to work, and he was backing out of a spot at Starbucks. And
let me ask you this: here's a good bit of trivia. We'll answer this one in a second. Give the readers a think about it. Readers, we will tell you the answer in a second.
Okay.
Guess how many empty, cold coffees or whatever. Guess how many empty coffee cups that Craig had in his car.
He has a new car, remember, too.
That's true, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, we're backing out, and there was an SUV also backing out, and it flipped out and started slamming on its horn. And so Craig did a quick stop and was like, "What are you doing?" And when he did that, I had a pumpkin latte that went all up my leg.
Oh,
Not all, but I mean, it was really full. So it just went whoosh, yeah.
That's no good. So
but then I was trying to drink out of it, and I spilled some on myself anyway.
Oh, so how many empty cups did he have in his car?
He only had one empty iced coffee thing, and then there was a McDonald's bag on the floor.
Okay, yeah, there's always the McDonald's bag on the floor.
But he's been a lot better about it than I think most people remember him being.
Usually when I used to ride with him to go to lunch or whatever before I had a car, I would get in there and be like 6 or 7, sometimes 12.
See, that's the thing. I mean, those were the stories I always heard. In my, almost 2 years here now, I've ridden with Craig a number of times, and I've never had it be bad at all.
Okay.
I mean, there's definitely stuff in there, generally.
There was times where I couldn't see the floor.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
That's pretty gross.
Well, I mean, it's all just empty cups, so, you just step on them and they crunch.
There's
nice
going to be those
little
little residue, it'll be a little festering residue, a little moisture, a little chocolate here and there.
I see.
I'm doing little hand motions
to indicate
he looks like
the
a
spider
residue.
or something.
You should put a picture of your hand motions on the podcast story.
So
people can kind of look at it at the right time and then pretend like
get
they're
an
seeing
animated
the show.
gift of it.
There you go.
I never have actually learned how to make an animated
GIF.
GIF.
Jack knows how to do them in a second.
It's easy. You just go to Photoshop, go to Image Ready, use all your layers and turn them on and off, and then I can show you how to do it. Anyway, let's get on with what games hit stores this week.
I want to see it too. I can tell you what games are hitting the stores with the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software and all through published by IGNators. Boom! All right, PlayStation 2.
Exciting.
Get Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Pac-Man Power Pack, Naruto Ultimate Collection, Speed Racer, Disgaea Compilation, and DDR-X. PSP gets Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, B-Boy, Your Union, Disgaea Compilation. PS3 gets Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Pure Armored Core, For Answer.
Pick of the week this week's got to be...
Just to let you know, it's Yggdra Union.
Whatever. Here's the thing. When you are dumb and name the game something dumb, I'm going to call it something dumb.
It's like Kent Herbeck. He didn't have enough vowels in his name.
There you go.
You guys know who Kent Herbeck is?
No.
Baseball player.
That's why I didn't know.
Long retired. Anyway, pick of the week I think has got to be Pure.
Pure?
That game's pretty rad.
Is it? Pure.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Star Wars is fun for Star Wars fans, but Pure is good all around.
Yggdra Union is good for strategy RPG fans, too.
I'm playing Star Wars right now, and I agree with Chris Roper's review.
There you go.
I enjoy the story very much. However, gameplay can be a chore at many times.
That's exactly what I said.
Many dumb. Like last night, my favorite part was Katie was working on the computer, and I was like, "Hey, Katie, look at this!" I'm like, "See that white guy kicking his legs? That's a stormtrooper. I haven't hit him yet, but he tripped over something and fell down and can't get up now. And he was just down kicking his legs like a turtle on his back. And then one of the giant blue robots came over, and he got stuck trying to walk by the stormtroopers. So he's just walking into nothing. I'm like, this is the caliber of enemy I'm against.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Jeff is out of the office, so he unfortunately can't translate Zombie Blognak's moans. But
brains.
So I guess we'll see what's up on the PlayStation Store later on today.
Life of PlayStation.
Life of PlayStation. That's
Love
there
that
you go.
Life of PlayStation.
But it's not really on the store. But yeah, it's
It's there.
It's up there.
Part of the. It's Thursday.
Yes.
It's updated.
So to recap, if you want to install Life of PlayStation, go to Folding at Home. Install that 3 times.
Wait quite a bit of time.
Wait quite a bit of time.
Ryan is
Then
showing us
click
something.
on it, and then Ryan just hurt himself with his transformable pen.
Oh man, that stung a little bit.
Ryan's pen is a flag that folds out of the side
It's
of
a
it.
calendar.
Or it's a calendar, whatever. It
whoopity-doo.
looks like a flag. Okay, well, the other side is a flag.
Well, it's
Or
a little
looks like
banner. It's a poster.
Okay, it looks like a scroll.
Yes,
It's
it's
a
a
Basically,
Warriors
it's
of
a
Orochi.
scroll that comes
The
out.
Warriors Orochi pen.
Yeah, and he just let go, and it whipped him in the hand.
Whipped
Whipped
him
me in the
good.
hand,
There you go.
and it stung.
Just the tip. I'll just say when you play Wipeout, do a barrel roll. You
There
win
you
a
go.
trophy. There you go. We'll come back. We'll come back to
Do
Wipeout
a
in a
barrel
little bit.
roll.
There you go. That's
You know where
pretty
that one was from?
No.
Star Fox.
Oh
Bam.
no.
All right.
Old school reference right
That's
there.
pretty
you go.
old school, yeah.
Topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
Greg, you did the topic of the week essentially earlier this week. Why don't
I
you tell
did.
our listeners about what is going to happen right now?
Well, as everyone knows, there's a little game coming called SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. There's a little bit of coverage on IGN on a daily basis
Never
if you ever
seen
want
it.
to see something about it. However, THQ was nice enough to come to the office a couple days ago. One Brian Williams, creative manager, and senior creative manager Corey Ledesma. And they also brought someone from the WWE, who I already spoiled the surprise, so act like you didn't hear me say her name earlier. Anyways, let's see what they had to say about this year's wrestling game.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Gruesome Greggy, two-time BYWF champion of the world, current IGN champion of the world. Alongside me are the two amigos from THQ, senior creative manager, Corey Ledesma. Corey, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Awesome, as usual. It's a Thursday, we'll say. And it's not really Thursday, but when the show goes live, it'll be Thursday.
All right, got it.
If only I knew how to edit that out. Brian Williams,
Yes,
creative
sir. What's
manager for
going on?
THQ as well. Brian, what game are you here to talk about?
Oh man, the best game that's coming out this year.
What's that
SmackDown
thing?
vs. Raw 2009, baby. You know that?
Oh, man, you know, Brian, the worst thing about those games?
What's
the
that?
divas.
Oh, shut your mouth, son.
Tell me there's no divas in this game this year,
Oh,
Brian.
I can't. I'd be lying to you.
Well, name one of them
Is
in
he
this.
wanting me to come on over there
yes.
and
And
who
show
are
him
you, little
why the divas are in this game? I am WWE diva Maria.
Oh, I've heard about you.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Oh, you knew my name when I came in, you know.
No, I knew your
heard
boyfriend,
about you.
Santino.
Heard about you. Aren't you Maria? Yeah, I think that was
Uh-oh.
pretty good.
That was Gruesome Greggy. I
Oh,
saw
Greg,
that
you
in the
can help
lobby.
that.
Okay,
Did you see
come
that?
on, guys.
Oh man.
You were there. I was more like, oh, Brian Williams, I've heard so much about you and your programming skills.
So many man crushes today. So many.
Oh, come on, now you're rolling with WWE fanboys. Of course, that's what's
Of
going to happen.
course.
A brother can't like Randy Orton and appreciate his work ethic without having some bromance involved. I mean, seriously, come on. The guy's dope.
He
I
was
like Randy
playing
Orton
with
a lot.
Randy.
I do.
Yeah.
But Brian's got a sick obsession about him.
Oh,
You should
he's
see his
sick.
cube. He's got action figures and set up in strange poses, and he's taking
Strange
it a little
poses,
far.
Brian? You want to talk about that?
They're not
Let's-
strange at all.
Let's get this on the table,
They're,
Brian. Discuss.
They're not strange. You know, I have a lot of figures at my desk. They come in handy, you know, for coordinating designs and everything. And Randy's one of them, yeah.
Or 6 of them.
Yeah.
Well, he does have a lot of figures. You know? A lot of different attires and whatnot.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
But enough about me. We got a WWE diva here. That's,
We do.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Maria, I hear this is your first time in a WWE playable character in a game.
Playable character. Yes.
Exciting?
It's very exciting, and I'm actually really hot in the game. I was excited to see it. You know,
Yeah.
it was really cool. And I'm wearing. I remember wearing the outfit and everything, and now watching the game, it's the exact outfit that I was wearing while they were doing all of the different testing and things for it. It was cool. It's
How much
really,
of it
really
have you
cool.
gotten to play or see?
You know what? I haven't been able to play yet. These guys are just hogging the controllers.
She's seen a lot, but she's
yeah.
looking for a debut
yeah.
match.
I think we can accommodate that on IGN
Yes.
today. Also on Thursday, look at the PS3 page. But let's talk about the actual gameplay. Corey, this is like what, year 37 of SmackDown vs. Raw?
That's right. Actually, it's our 10th SmackDown vs. Raw,
okay.
which is quite a feat for us. That's awesome. And we're delivering the best game today. I've been at THQ for over 8 years now. I can say with full confidence that this is by far our best effort. So really excited to start to roll out the features and talk about them with the fans and get them excited. And I think they're going to like it.
What makes it the best game? I mean, it's one of those things where I know we put up a Q&A last week where, you said, I'm sure you expect me to say that. But, I mean, it does seem like it's got a lot of stuff this year.
Really, it's just a complete package. It's got a lot of features that fans have been asking about. It's got solid gameplay. It's got a great story mode. So really, it's just the whole package. Also, we have downloadable content this year so that, once fans buy the game, it kind of prolongs their experience even longer. We have modes that have never even been in a wrestling game or fighting game ever, such as Create a Finisher, and some other modes that we haven't
announced
yet.
Are we not at liberty to announce?
You have my permission to say what.
We have some mystery modes that we haven't announced yet.
That's
And I know
a
the fans have been asking about them, but we're gonna keep them under wraps. And but they're definitely gonna blow the knock their socks off, and we're excited about it.
One of the big modes I know we're just starting to talk about and hear more about as far as hard details is Road to WrestleMania.
That's right.
And I know there's 7 guys in it, 6 storylines. How is that working this year? Why that choice? I mean, before it's been, this giant open world thing or giant, open experience to put anybody you want into it. Why limit that?
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, we weren't really happy with our effort, obviously, last year with the 24/7 mode. It was kind of a disappointment, so we wanted to go ahead and really deliver this year. And so to deliver, we felt we needed to focus on character-specific stories. And so really we wanted to have stories that made sense to the character you're playing, that you felt like you're playing as them and as in real life. In the past, it's been a kind of a generic story that any superstar can fill that role. And you get strange things like Undertaker out of place and characters that shouldn't be in those roles. So we just delivered, really focused on delivering great stories this year. And so we brought in some writers to help us out with the WWE writers. We came up with 6 great stories. One of them a co-op story, which we've never had in SmackDown before. And really, we just think that that approach, as well as the approach we're taking with gameplay and storytelling, is going to be really strong this year, and the fans are really going to enjoy this mode.
I know when it first got announced, at least this time with the details, a lot of kids on the IGN boards flipped their wigs and were like, 6 stories, I hate everything, blah.
That was great.
Is that what they sounded like?
Our kids are more like, IGN is tape biased. They do not know what they're talking about. Why do they lie? Money hat. Greg Miller does not play games. But I know when I interviewed you originally, you said you didn't tell me what the mode was, or anybody for that matter. There is something else, right, for if you wanted to play another way or something?
Absolutely. We know it's important that our fans be able to play with the creative superstars, be able to build them up, and also to have a experience where they can go through and earn the championships, all of the championships to be in fact. So we definitely have some other kind of experience coming out soon that we're going to be announcing that will let you do some of those things that I know the fans have been asking about.
I know you're never ready to talk about it. You guys are so, you know exactly what you want to talk about. Drives me and the fans crazy. But you talk about DLC, obviously everybody jumps to the conclusions of roster, being able to put more people in the game, stuff like that. Is there a possibility that you'd see more Road to WrestleMania storylines like that or something?
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to get me to slip up on the podcast and announce something I'm not supposed to.
I was so sly with that question. Really underhanded. Right, Brian, huh?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
if we were alone, I'd probably slip some stuff. But
we can't announce the content, unfortunately. We really want to. Brian and I... we really want to talk about the stuff that we have coming out, but we have to keep it under wraps.
No, they don't really.
But can I go back to something, though, about the Road to WrestleMania mode? And, the message boards, of course, they see, 6 stories, 7 guys, there's a lot of chatter, and, I'll be able to, breeze through it in a couple hours, what kind of gameplay is involved in that. And I just want to let the fans know that, yes, it's only 7 guys, but you know what? We have an obligation to represent these WWE superstars and divas, and as they are on television. Like Corey alluded to earlier. Last year that wasn't the case. We reused a lot of cutscenes. You saw characters acting out of pocket. It's like you would never see Cena, Undertaker, anybody behave the way that they did.
Yeah.
So we eliminated that. No shared cutscenes this year. Yes, it's only 6 stories, but those 6 stories there's a lot of gameplay in each one. It'll probably take you roughly 5 to 6 hours to complete each one of those stories. So
multiply that by 6. I mean, you have 36 hours of
gameplay, and you're seeing original, all new content in each one of those stories. So
they have multiple endings as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Maria. Yeah, love that. Yeah, and they're sweet.
I of course have the THQ, embargo ball gag on me, so I can't say everything. But I did see you pop up in one of them there, Maria.
I told you you're in there.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't say anything. So many secrets.
So many secrets.
So Brian, tell me a little bit more about the game. What's got you excited?
Oh man, what's got me excited? Well, Create a Finisher. We've been talking about that since WrestleMania, and my enthusiasm for it hasn't waned at all. It's my favorite create mode in the game, bar none. It's fantastic. I can go in there, and I've been playing the game. I mean, for like better part of 6-7 months now, and I still will go through there and see motions and moves that I haven't seen. Seen it for the first time. Like, oh man, I could do this. So, I mean, just knowing that and knowing that I just can't wait for the fans to get their hands on it. I mean, you can literally just boot the game up and spend 2 or 3 hours Just creating moves.
Are all the moves like that you'd have options to unlocked it like as soon as you buy it? Or
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, you do not have to purchase any moves. You do not have to accumulate anything to unlock any moves. The moves are there. You go in there. You can right from the get start creating whatever crazy or finish move that you can come up with.
Okay.
No handcuffs, no restraints.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
What about unlockables in Road to WrestleMania? That was something you guys were talking a little bit about last week, and obviously with our preview earlier.
Yeah, that's where all our unlockables are this year, is in Road to WrestleMania mode, and we have a lot of cool stuff in there. We have unlockable arenas, superstars, costumes, match types even, a lot of cool content in there, stuff that we've never had in the game before. So they're all, you can unlock them all by challenges. We give you challenges throughout Road to WrestleMania mode. Can you do this in a certain amount of time, or can you beat him with a submission? Different kind of challenges throughout the season mode, and basically they're optional. If you choose to go ahead and tackle that challenge, you can go ahead and get an unlockable. We have tons of unlockables this year. So
yeah, it's a lot. And another thing, I probably shouldn't give this much attention to the message boards, but I saw something where we had mentioned in the piece you wrote about Road to WrestleMania that the unlockable match types. The Inferno match is not an unlockable match type. It is available right from the get-go. So I don't want anybody thinking that they've got to, oh my God, I can't play the Inferno match till I go through so-and-so's story. No. We have some other cool stuff that we haven't mentioned that is unlockable. But the Inferno match is there for you as soon as you boot the game up.
Now, I heard alternate endings too, right?
Oh, yeah.
that's correct,
Yeah.
Is that as clear-cut as it was in a game like No Mercy where you were just following the tree and you saw, you jump off the line, do a different thing? Or is it going to be up to the fans to experiment and figure out how that works?
Each story is really different. Some have bigger branches than others. Some have more distinct endings than others. But really, the choices you make and your match outcomes really will change the story. And the endings will definitely, some stories are quite drastic, the path you take, and some are just, a slight difference. But really, each one definitely has a different experience each time you play. So I've been playing each story multiple times, and I still get a kick out of it, seeing new stuff. So it's definitely got a lot of replayability.
Okay. Maria, how big of a deal is this game to the superstars?
Oh my
and
gosh.
divas?
It's amazing. It's amazing to see yourself up there on the screen. It's amazing to play with myself. It's so much fun.
Wow, a lot of fanboys' hearts just stopped right there. A lot of bored kids. Oh my God, did you hear what she said on podcast?
It is, but it is. I mean, it's really cool for us. I mean, and they pay so much attention to detail. I was mentioning, and I've been mentioning all day, how cool it is that all the guys' tattoos are so perfectly done, and the guys' movements are so well done that it's cool to see it out there in the ring, and they're doing, and sometimes myself in the ring, is doing stuff that I would like to see myself do in the ring, so I might go and use that now. There was something that he did earlier today that I think I'm going to try and use in the ring next, and there's a new finisher, the Corey Killer, and I might use that today.
I'm sure a lot of the kids on the boards are going to use that too.
Yeah.
Now, Maria was checking out the creative finisher, though, and she did see some stuff that she was like, I might want to try that out. So
exactly. So it's not just all the finishes that are already there in the WWE. There's so many more finishes, and it's you can add on different things. So it's really
endless
cool.
possibilities.
Thanks,
Look at Maria selling that game. I love it. Doing a great job of it,
well,
too.
I'm just glad that this time I'm playable.
Yes. Yes.
Now you do the job of selling the game, Brian. I mean, it's one of these things. What are we talking about as far as moves this year? As far as additional stuff that's been added?
Oh, yeah, moves, man. It's always a big point of contention with the fans. We added, it's hard to say. I mean, just by the sheer fact that we have at least, I would say, 30% more, new superstars who have never been in a SmackDown game before. I mean, we have to, we create their models at the same time. We have to give them their moves as well. So, right there, it was an influx of moves within the creator moveset. We've also removed a lot of our old, hand-animated moves. We're making this push towards mocap. And we still have a couple of, hand-animated moves here and there, but we're trying to get a consistent, visual look across the board. So we've reanimated a lot of stuff this year. So we've added more moves to the game just overall with the new superstars in the game, with the creative finisher, much more so than we did last year. So I think the fans will be definitely, pleasantly surprised about the moves and the wide assortment of moves in this year's game compared to, the last and some other titles out there.
Okay. I know the one knock I hear from the non-wrestling fans in the office, because when I get SmackDown versus Raw 09 in the office, my world shuts down, and I pretty much play that all the time that I'm at work.
That's why we love you, man.
I know. And that's why people walk by and they look at it and go, looks like last year's game, and they walk off. how do you guys have to? I mean, how do you deal with that? It's the same knock people give against Madden or NCAA. I mean,
Right.
that it's this game and it has a look that you've chosen to stick with. How do you go? I mean, to change people's minds about that, or how do you address that every year coming into a new one?
Yeah, it's definitely a big challenge for a franchise, any franchise out there, like you said. And basically, you know, if our game were to come out with the feature set we have and all the features we have, the first year it would get huge, you know, high scores, very high scores. But since we're a franchise, we're judged off last year's effort. So each year we have to top that last year's effort. So that's the big challenge to us. But we really live up to that challenge as much as we can. We look forward to that challenge. We're never in a shortage of ideas. We always got tons of ideas. So it's never really something we're worried about each year, like how are we going to top ourselves or what areas are we going to improve. We know all the areas we want to improve and what cool things we can add. And we're very thankful for that. The fans give us so much feedback, so we know what they're, you know, kind of looking forward to. So we kind of like that challenge. We kind of like to step up to that and look to push the envelope each year. So yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the fans really are the driving force behind what we do each year. We say that a lot, but it's true.
And it's funny because we'll see on the message boards a lot of the fans like, they don't listen.
They don't listen.
Hey, you've got the
No
voice
one's
down almost.
listening to us.
Yeah, it's a good voice. And the thing is that we do listen and we do pay attention. And, you know, just it may take us a while sometimes, but we listen. You know?
One of the questions I see to that accord a lot is that, I loved this mode, but this year it's not in there and stuff. I mean, why don't you guys just leave everything in? And, I mean, would it just be the fact that it would be a 12-disc set or something?
Exactly. Yeah. It's the size of the game, really. It would just be this giant balloon that just, would end up popping, and we wouldn't be able to manage it all. And we want to make sure that every part of the game is just very well tuned and polished. And if it just keeps blowing up like that, we can't touch all areas of the game. So we just focus on what we think the fans want to see the most, and focus on polishing all that and delivering fresh content. Like you said, people think the game keeps looking the same each year. We want to introduce new stuff and keep it fresh and
plus
give it a reason.
There's new characters. There's different superstars, divas.
Over 60 playable.
And then there's also the set changed. I don't know if I can say that, but our set changed this past year. So it's like that's a whole new thing to see. And
exactly.
There's so many cool things that they showed me today that we can't talk about, but it's really cool.
All right, you got any final thoughts here to wrap up with? Why should people go by? Brian, Corey?
Man, well, SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. It's going to be the best wrestling game that's ever been released. More responsive gameplay.
How's the AI this year?
The AI, I'm glad you mentioned that. The AI is so much better than it's been. And I know fans aren't going to believe me. They won't. And it's fine. Don't believe me because, the proof is in the pudding. When you guys, get your hands on a demo or you get your hands on the final, build of the game, you'll see. So I'm telling you right now, the AI has improved a great deal. The AI it's got attitude. It's so cocky. Like, it taunts a lot more. Like, it knows what it's doing.
It's slick. It'll exit the ring when you have your finisher. And it does smart things.
It knows what's going on with you and how your style of combat is, and it adapts accordingly, especially on the higher levels. If you've been playing SmackDown for the past 2 or 3 iterations, I would say get the game, put it on hard or legend. And you'll see what I mean. I mean, the AI is a tricky fox. It'd be like playing against you, Gruesome Greggy.
Well, no, it wouldn't be like me. Nobody would play because I'd dominate them every time. Come on now.
I think I beat you a couple times.
Wait a second. I was about to say, I seem to remember last year playing you a few times, and it didn't go too well for you.
Well, you know what it was?
I think the 7th match you finally won, if I remember correctly.
That was that day that I was having problems with my contacts.
Oh, yeah. Have you been having problems all day? Because haven't you lost 3 times?
Well, I hurt my thumb the other day.
A little arthritis in the thumb, I think. I did break this one.
I had a paper cut, so I couldn't press the buttons in time. But no. Come on, I'm the best SmackDown player in the office. I mean, right, Corey? Yeah.
He is pretty good. Actually, I want to give some credit to Brian because he is the best player in the office. Not only that, he focuses a lot of his designs on gameplay. He's kind of our gameplay guy, and gameplay this year is phenomenal. It really is. It feels I haven't felt this tuned in a very long time, and a lot of that credit goes to Brian and to Ukes as well. But Brian spent a lot of time playing the game, so definitely want to give him a shout out, give him some love. And
you just made my weekend, dog.
But, if the fans do have complaints, then you know who to go to. It's Brian.
It's Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, and I can take it.
Great. Maria, closing thought.
Closing thought.
Clothing
I think I said clothing
said
thought.
clothing
too.
thought.
I think you did. Did I just repeat it? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's cool. As long
I think
as
it's
we don't talk
amazing.
about it.
I think that it's a great thing to do, and you never know what can happen. So create yourself on the game, just like I did about 6 years ago, and maybe you too will now be a superstar. Or
Look at
diva.
that.
It's really cool because I did, at one time create myself, and I just think that it's so cool now that I'm in the game, and it's interesting to see what you do out in that ring. So have fun, play the game.
All right, then.
Maria was telling us that she thought she looked pretty hot in the game.
did.
So you guys have to check out the game just for that.
I was like, oh God, I can't imagine, something's good. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, thanks guys.
She liked that. She
Look
also
better
was
on the game than I do.
She was also, I said you're pretty happy with your stats in the game as well.
Yeah, they could be higher.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. You're not fast enough.
No, my stats they were pretty good. I was
good. It's a
I was pretty
70.
happy. Yeah.
Oh, you beat Michelle McCool. We just put her up the other day.
Yeah.
She was a 69.
that.
Look at that. You
I
edged her
did.
out.
Ooh, look at
that.
that. Next Divas champ. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you all for coming. Remember, fans, if you'd like to ask Corey a question for the bi-weekly THQ&A series, I'm sure Brian will chime in once or twice.
I'll answer some.
Go to the IGN WWE SmackDown boards. You can also go there to flame me and Corey, which happens often. And I'm sure Maria would love to hear your comments there, too.
Oh, of course.
There you go. Everybody, let's go back to Podcast Beyond. I almost forgot. On Podcast Beyond, our catchphrase is Beyond. So now I need you each to say Beyond. Brian, go.
Beyond! Beyond!
Beyond.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh, that's too hot for this recording to handle.
Whoa, they blew my mind.
That was amazing.
It was a good one. It was one of our better interviews.
Yeah.
Usually you get Clement's on here and he's all, how can I help you, sir?
I don't think I ever said that.
I don't think so either.
Now the topic of the week is over. You know what time it is?
Mail call?
Maelstrom!
Mail!
Whoa!
Jeff's not here, no mail.
Ooh, let's see what we got going on today. Connor writes in.
Connor Dowell?
Well, his tag name is Condor McG.
Condor. I went to school with Connor Dowell for a while.
There we go.
Maybe it's him.
He says he
No,
heard us
I just-
talking about upgrading hard drives for the
there you
PS3, and he was wondering what the maximum that we know of is. Have we heard of anything bigger than 500 gigs, or is that the limit so far? So far as I am aware, and you're going to want to check to make absolutely positive of this, or make sure you have a return receipt or whatever, is so long as the drive fits in there, it'll work fine. Just make sure that
It's a laptop drive.
Yeah, it's a laptop drive, 2.5-inch laptop drive. It should be fine. He also goes on to say, also if he puts in a 7,200 RPM drive, will it get info quicker or will it just script my system? So most hard drives are 5,400 RPMs. He wants to know if you put a 7,200 RPM in there, will it load faster? There have been some pretty hardcore, tech sites that have done benchmarks on this sort of thing, and there is a speed increase, but it seems fairly minimal. So if the price difference is pretty much zero, or you're throwing around $1,000 bills and making it rain, then go ahead and pick up the 7,200. But don't feel bad if you can't, or just happen to have a good deal on 5,400. It's apparently not that much of a difference, less than 10% from what I remember. Which if you're talking about a 10-second load time, it might save you 1 second.
I think Ryan's got something to say on this.
Yeah.
matter.
What's this?
I just wrote on my pants.
Oh, I thought this was.
And you're wearing like light tan khakis.
Yeah, I put
That's
a
all you
pen
ever wear.
mark here.
Where did you write it? You wrote it.
Here, can we see the pen mark?
I see it. You have to put a picture, and then you keep tapping it with your pen. That's good.
Well, the little pointer isn't out now.
I
but
see.
Friggin' Warriors
All right.
Orochi pen screwed my
Put
pants
a picture
up.
of that on the podcast story as well.
All right, I'll be on that.
The Sky's Alive 92 says if a multi-platform game comes out on the 360 and has achievements, and also comes out on the PS3 with trophy support, do we think that each system should have exclusive challenges, or should they just be identical?
I'm fine with them being identical.
Yeah, so am I. I don't see why.
I mean, how long is it taking them to get trophies going now? Just freaking do it.
Yeah, just
I
put
don't
them in
let's
there.
not make it any more complicated for developers.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, who's going to play the same game twice on two different systems and
True
then
that.
be more, so
Now, if it's a Superman game or Ghostbusters,
then you got to play it twice.
Yep.
But then you already know how to get all the achievements.
I know.
Or trophies, whichever one you play second. DJ Phantasm writes in and says, just wanted to know what the deal is with Ryan's PSN hit. 2 weeks ago, we put him on as PSN hit of the week. And last episode did not mention the results. He's curious to know how it went.
It went pretty well as in terrible, because I got like 4,000 requests and beyonds and whatnot. But no, it was cool to see all these messages flooding my inbox, and I got a few really good ones. I'm actually surprised at how many people from the UK and Australia listen to our particular podcast, because I figured it would be mostly US listeners, but it seems like it's pretty global as well.
You got a couple of the ASCII character beyonds in there, giant,
Yep,
image sort
there
of
were
type
some
things.
there were some very creative ways in order to convey the word beyond, written in different letters and symbols.
Yeah, and given that it was it's one thing if you have it on the message board, you can copy and paste, but
Right.
putting it on the PS3 is a different story.
Yes, absolutely. So the only thing that was disturbing to me was at some point I also got a photograph of one of our listeners who is male and who is maybe looks like a little bit on the heavier side, kind of, a bigger guy, in the Princess Leia slave outfit.
Nice.
That's nice.
He sent that to me, and
How do you know that was actually the guy? It could have been somebody else.
Well, perhaps. I mean, that's entirely possible. But he did reference that he had sent in an email I got from him later or something. He referenced that he had sent me a picture of him in his outfit. So
That's disturbing.
yes,
Quoted fact truth.
I didn't find it. Well, it wasn't disturbing. It was just something that I deleted right away because I had no need for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for not showing that to us. Mike writes in and says, will there be a Little Big Planet page up on IGN that allows for levels to be posted and uploaded, sort of like we had for Super Smash Bros. Brawl? Since user-created levels is a driving force behind this game, how is integration of that feature being addressed? So the Super Smash Bros. Thing, in case you guys weren't playing the game, didn't follow the Nintendo stuff, when that game came out earlier this year, it was March or whatever that was.
Yeah, it was just first part.
We had in that game, Nintendo doesn't have a way to really upload levels and let you download them. They have there's a sharing thing. You can play like a highlight level of the day or whatever, but you can't save them to your thing and do all that kind of stuff. So we created a site for it. It was sort of our first test thing. Later on, we had the Grand Theft Auto Hood, which had the interactive Google Map and all that kind of stuff. So that was the second one. But the Super Smash Bros. One lets you upload levels and share them and have a friends list on there and that kind of sort of thing. So we want to know if we're going to do that for Little Big Planet. There's absolutely no reason for us to do so. The game is built around sharing content and tagging people's things and having favorites and voting on people's stuff and and saying, hey, this is cool, and playing all that kind of stuff. We would be completely irrelevant in the scheme of that because the game is built so well around how that works.
Yeah.
So no, we will not have it, and I'm not sure that there's actually a way to. I don't know if you can copy the individual file off anyway, but there's no reason to do it.
The best thing we'd be able to do is if we found a cool level, show it, videotape it, and then show you how to get to it. Like what search words to put in or what username to look for.
Yeah. So, we're not going to be doing that because there's no reason. Black Mantle says, with limited/special/collector's edition packages priced at $20 or more than the standard edition of a video game package nowadays, sometimes it's 10, a lot of times it's 10, I think. Do you guys think that it is fair to the consumer with what goes into the bundle? It depends.
Yes and no.
Yeah, it always depends.
It is a very steep price when it's upwards of $70 to $80 for a single game.
Well, that's true. But if you're a big fan of the game, you want to get all the stuff. Look at what's coming with Resistance. You get
a gun.
You get a gun. You get the figure. You get the making of DVD. You get a lot of stuff in there for $20 extra. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, the figure alone could sell for $20. People would buy it.
The figures and stuff you can just buy, like those aren't really game related. I prefer more like the DVD stuff, making of. I love when they include the audio soundtrack.
That, yeah.
When it's something to do with the game, like that's an awesome feature. But when they include a little figure
See,
of
I like the
Chimera,
tchotchke way more. Like, because my thing is right now, I feel like I'm thinking about selling my Metal Gear collection because I know that's the for $4, the collector edition of the can. I know that goes for a lot on eBay and stuff. And it's
how much does it go for?
I don't know. I've heard crazy things, so I'm gonna check it out and then maybe trade it in. Because my thing is, one, I love Metal Gear, but I think I'm done with it, and it doesn't hold the place in my heart that Metal Gear 1 does, which I still have and I'll never sell. So it's one of those things where if one day they say, hey, we're patching it for trophies, then I'll go out and buy a normal. I'll go back and get the normal one or whatever. But right now it just sits there. I've never watched the entire DVD. You know what I mean? Like I watched a little bit. I saw Jeff in it. And I was like, oh, Jeff. And then I was like, all right. And I don't know. So I mean, it's one of those things. At the time, I was swept up in Metal Gear 4. Woo! But now I'm like, like Resistance, I'm looking forward to, but I'll probably buy a normal one. I don't think I'm gonna buy collectors.
Yeah, we'll see. But to answer the question, it very greatly depends on, first off, if you want the extra stuff.
Yeah.
It's obviously personal opinion, but it's a lot of times it's who is putting the package together. Some people do crappy stuff where they just put in a little 10-minute behind-the-scenes thing and a little fold-out poster, and it's not worth the money. The Halo packages are usually pretty good. The Blizzard guys do fantastic jobs with all their special editions for the World of Warcraft special editions and all those sorts of things. They have like maps and soundtracks and giant art books and all that kind of stuff. They do fantastic work.
I like art books too, actually.
Yeah. So it really depends on who's doing what. So you're gonna
Eye of the beholder.
Eye of the beholder, and
if they put together
an
Infamous collector's edition, even though I've never played that game, and it's the first one, I'll totally buy that. Can't wait for that game.
There you go. Yeah, because that would be you include a comic book with it. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff they could do with that.
Little Big Planet too. I guess these are all first-run games though, so maybe they wouldn't have that much of a need to do it. But if they put together a Little Big Planet with a little Sackboy in it,
yeah,
totally
exactly.
buy that.
Or that's another thing is you get the code to unlock the extra Sackboy characters in Little Big Planet Special Edition, right? Isn't that one of the included features?
Yeah, if you pre-order it, right?
Yeah, it's a pre-order bonus.
Oh, it's a pre-order bonus. Okay. But things like that, where it's related to the game, I think are the most appetizing for spending the extra money.
Yeah.
There you go. Percussion Master writes in. He says he's heard a couple bits around the web that Sony has lost gobs of money on the PS3 due to the cost of the cell and the Blu-ray drive.
Old.
He's also heard that this will make it impossible for Sony to really make money on the PS3. Impossible is not the correct word. Very, very long-term investment is more accurate.
10-year plan.
Yeah, 10-year plan. But it will be difficult. He goes on to say, does any of this ring true? And if so, how do you think it impacts Sony's position in the console market? Well, so here's the thing now. This generation of consoles is very interesting in that the Wii exists. And Nintendo's doing so well with that. And it's, by and large, compared to the PS3 and 360, it's a crappy hardware, right? It doesn't look very good. It's not in HD. It's basically a spliced up GameCube. Whereas the PS3 and 360 look fantastic. Games look awesome, whatever like that. But they're very expensive to produce and to sell. Although the 360 is now cheaper depending on which one you buy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is gonna make people relook at the systems next time around. Sony this time around went all out. They put everything they possibly could in the system, made it as crazy as possible within means or whatever, and made this thing that came out $600 and all this kind of stuff, and that's still biting them in the ass. It's great for consumers because you get a lot of stuff where I still say it's been a great deal the whole time, but they're having a hard time recouping the cost when Microsoft had a year lead on the hardware, so their stuff got cheaper, and then now Microsoft can drop the price, and Sony is having a hard time following suit, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the next Xbox is and the PS4 and all that, and how they come around. So
I really hope they don't go the casual route. I hope they don't look at that Nintendo thing.
I think that they're not going to go the casual route, but I think they're going to be a little more restrained in the amount of hardware they put into it.
Yeah.
And so they can come out at a $300 price point.
As long as they don't have a waggle controller built in or whatever.
I
think just going to keep up with their 6-axis / DualShock stuff, I imagine.
Yeah, here's the thing too: is if the next round of consoles, I don't think this is true, but if it happens to be that it's download only, that saves a lot of money on the drive.
Yeah.
So, Dopalicious writes in, he says, PS3 is a Blu-ray player. A friend was telling him that the PS3 is the worst one on the market, and that Blu-ray will be obsolete in 5 years or so. Is there any truth with this? He agrees with him that it's easy enough to release a firmware patch to keep the PS3 in the running with other Blu-ray players, and Sony's not going to screw themselves that way like they did with backwards compatibility. So first off, the PS3 is not even close to the worst player on the market, and in fact, it is easily one of the best ones, partly because of the firmware updates. The Criterion Collection guys, not Criterion Burnout and Black, that sort of thing, but the Criterion Collection guys, all they'd make is high-end reference discs. Basically, every single thing they release is like mastered to craziness and whatever, and their collections come out for a limited time. And they sell like crazy on eBay. You go find some of those collections. Like the DVDs will go for like $200.
Rushmore?
Yeah, so those guys know what they're doing. They use a PS3 as their reference player, and that company knows what's happening. And if they're using a PS3, that's fine by me. Per Schneider, our network director, he's also German. He has a PS3 at his house. He has a projector at his house, and he runs his PS3 on his projector. He's got his TV in a bedroom. Was telling me the other day he went and bought a separate standalone Blu-ray player. Just found whatever the cheapest one on the market was. A little bit less than the PS3, but just bought that. And says it's very slow to start because those things don't have cell. You can't kick up immediately, and it's just not as nice to use as the PS3. His only complaint is that, and I think a lot of people is this, that since the PS3's remote is all Bluetooth, you can't use the same sort of thing. You can go through other routes and get like a USB dongle from.
Oh, for like a universal thing?
Yeah, from Mad Catz or Nyko, whoever makes this sorts of things. But
Mad Catz. I don't know about Mad Catz products.
Yeah, I know.
Never been a huge fan.
Ethan B. writes in and says, does the Rock Band microphone work with SingStar, or do I have to buy the SingStar mics?
Excellent question. I believe we put up a story about this a while, and it's all very confusing. That Sony is currently, they put up a blog post a while ago saying they're trying to patch all this stuff up to get it to work. I believe it's only the other way now. I think that SingStar mics will work with Rock Band 2 and Guitar Hero World Tour.
Yeah.
God, I hate how many World Tours and on tour and all that jazz. Anyways, I think that's the way it's going. I don't think it's I don't think it's Rock Band to SingStar. I think it's SingStar to Rock Band.
Very good. Our last.
But don't quote me. Go Google IGN SingStar Rock Band. Greg Miller news.
There you go. Our last write-in from the day comes from Singing Pigs.
Ooh.
It's a very good name. He says
How would
after
a pig sing?
and actually, so he signed the email Singing Pigs, but the name attached to his email account is Singing Pigs in Elevators, which is even better.
That's even better one.
I like that.
It's even more interesting. Anyway, he says after a horribly long wait, he finally bought a PS3 today.
Booyah.
But and he has a little, M with slashes to make it look like he's rocking out, little thing.
What?
There, it's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he says
That's a good one,
read
actually.
the email.
Hold on.
Pass it around the paper.
Just start singing, Greg. Oh, I like that. That's cool.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
Everybody loves your SQR. But he says, but he's dismayed to discover that it's not backwards compatible with PS2 games. He's still got his PS2, so he's good on that. But he's looking forward to playing Shadow of the Colossus with graphics smoothing on his HD set. But he wants to know, do PS3 games played on a PS3 really look that much better, or is he not missing much? It's sort of, so when the patch first went up, I did a bunch of side-by-side pictures. You can go search for that. I forget what the name of the article is, but yeah, Google for, backwards compatibility, PS2
Chris
comparison,
Roper, IGN.
and hopefully you'll find that. Or look in the features back when that would have launched. But anyway, it's hit or miss depending on the title. Some games look better, some games, and it's sort of a trade-off where they'll look a little bit blurrier, but they don't look as harsh. But then the other way, the games will look sharper, and you might be able to read them a little bit better if they're the other way around. Shadow of the Colossus did not really look too much better from what I remember. This was a while ago, which unfortunately, because that was probably the game that I wanted to look much better so I could replay it again. But that wasn't the case with that game.
You'll replay it again anyway. One day.
Shut up! I will play. So it's not that big of a deal. It's nice, but it's not really that crazy. Don't go, trading in your new system and eBaying a 60 gig or something it's not worth it.
Don't do it.
There you go. There's all the reader mail. As always, you can email us. Either hit up our message boards or you can email us at beyond@ign.com.
Yep.
Send in your reader mails. So we got some stuff to read on here.
Mailses.
Yep. Let's get to the last wrap-up segments of the thing. Ryan, do you have any tournament winners for us this week?
Well, actually, Beast786 sent me the winner for last week because we missed it. I don't know if you recall that, and I don't think he was aware that we were doing it this early, so he hadn't sent me this one.
Gotcha.
But last week, it was Provo Fan, or as it is accurately Pro Evo Fan 9, won another game of Resistance Fall of Man, proving once again that this guy must be wicked good at that game because he is always winning in their tournaments.
Or he cheats.
Or he's a mad hacker.
See, it seems to me like he'd be playing soccer in the game with a name like Pro Evo.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like soccer skills transfer to Resistance very well.
That's his, subterfuge method.
He's good with the feet.
Doesn't want you to know what's going to happen. You're like, oh, this kid plays soccer. He can't beat me in Resistance.
I like how you said it. He's good with the feet. That's what he's good at.
PSN hit of the week. So here's the thing. We got a couple requests for other people. And again, we're not going to do... You can request yourself. We'll hit you.
Fool me once. Shame on you.
Yeah, we're not gonna be hitting other people that you call out for. It's kind of fun to do that. But anyway, so
even though it's fun, we can't do it.
So hit of the week, we could hit somebody else in the team, or we could just make up a name.
We could hit Jeff because is he gonna listen to this? You think? Anytime
he may, but we could hit him anyway. It'd be kind of funny.
Then can we spell his name?
I thought we're just like, we're not going to hit anyone that doesn't specifically request it.
Yeah, no, but we know who he is. This is the thing.
Yeah, he'll be all, you guys, you just crazy man.
Well, I believe his name is just Ghost Rider.
No,
isn't it?
No. It's
Zarathos.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's right. So that's what.
Hey, what is that? Anybody know? By the way.
No.
I thought it was just something he made up, but I guess it's
okay.
So that's what Z.
Might be Ghost Rider related.
ZA?
Yeah, it's ZARA. Ryan's got it. That's right.
Okay, ZARATHOS.
Zarathos.
Zarathos. So that is Jeff's PSN ID. Jeff, since he's not here today, is PSN hit of the week. Zarathos, ZARATHOS. Send him some Beyonds. When he comes back from his Resistance thing,
I like how
he will have a bunch of Beyonds, which would be kind of funny.
I like how we're probably going to get emails from the Uber fans of whatever game or book this is from, and they're going to be like,
Zarathos is the third deity that was described in the second book of the Necronomicon as the...
and something like that.
It would make me think it's somehow related to Ghost Rider.
Clapdo, Necto.
Anybody?
Dude, I got it. Maybe.
If I had to put money down, that's what I put it on right now.
Yeah.
I don't. Does that even sound like something out of the Ghost Rider mythology?
I don't like. I'm not a big Marvel fan, and I never liked Ghost Rider. So there you go.
What? How could you not be a Marvel fan?
Clone Saga.
DC.
Clone Saga. Right there. That's what turned me off.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. After that, I was like, F you, Marvel.
The X-Men are
No,
the
I don't like
penultimate.
No.
Because the ultimate is obviously Superman. You know.
Well, yeah, sure, whatever.
I like Batman.
Batman's
because he's
cool.
real. Batman could. But the reason I like Batman is because he could exist. Somebody could be Batman.
That'd be cool.
Nobody can be
Have you
Superman.
ever noticed that we don't ever see that? We never. You would think by now we would have had many
Somebody
stories of someone trying to be the vigilantes. You know what I mean? It seems very like, why wouldn't somebody have tried to do this yet?
Yeah. Why wouldn't somebody have tried to become Batman?
I agree.
That's basically what the Watchmen is all about.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Someone trying to become Batman?
No. Did you guys ever read that?
Yeah, I read it like 80 years ago.
80,
Welcome to the party.
Not that old.
Welcome to the party,
You're
Mr.
not that old.
No, I think
I
it
was
was
just
I borrowed it
referencing
from
it
Greg,
because
but then I never read it 'cause I
that's
didn't have time.
exactly
You have a baby, it's
that's
cool.
exactly
Yeah.
the plot. It's people that are completely normal without powers, and they're trying to be masked vigilantes to mirror.
I'm gonna watch the movie. Don't ruin it.
That's just the basic premise.
You've ruined it already.
All right.
Anyway.
I don't think that's the basic premise.
No, it's not.
Dr.
basic
Manhattan
premise,
is not a normal human
It's a
being.
love story.
He's the one exception in the book.
What
It's a
about
love story between man and machine.
I read, and everyone knows I'm dumb. I've admitted this many times.
I don't like when you say that. I don't like when you insult yourself. It
but
bothers
I'm
me.
really stupid.
You're
I'm
You're
overrated.
clearly not, because you are
How do I pronounce
IGN's
the guy
prominent Greg Miller.
who is the guy who's like a? I'm trying to say stuff without spoiling any parts of the story. He's the guy who like has the action figures and is trying to. How do I pronounce his name?
Adrian Veidt?
There you go.
Is it or Veidt?
Yeah, sure. He's
gonna
not a
say
normal
Veidt.
human being.
Yes, he is.
No way.
Yes.
His
he is.
reflexes are so amazing. Oh damn!
Oh.
Sorry,
We were
everybody.
so close. It's all right.
36:05.
What is it?
36.
Just-
More like 36.
Just say like his reflexes or whatever, and then it'll be fine.
but,
Brian, just cut that out.
You just bleep me.
No, I'll just bleep you. It's
but
funny.
then you
It's
gotta bleep
funnier
all this
that
stuff,
way.
and it sounds
No,
weird.
like this is
No, this is-
conversational.
All right.
This is what
Leave it
Beyond's
in
all
there.
about.
Editing
No,
for Ryan.
technically, he is human. It's just that he's trained himself so extensively that he's almost beyond human. But he was still a normal person technically.
Okay.
Just super smart.
Let's get on
See,
with the
that was the
show.
thing.
We'll wrap
Okay.
this up. We got a new site to launch, and I got a meeting with the new gear guy.
I got so much crap to do too.
Yeah, I got to put together
I
the
hate this time of
SOCOM Q&A. Yeah. Editor Beatdown, the NCAA tournament. How's that going?
I have no idea, dude. We're all swamped. Jeff had me simulate his games last week. I simulated my first one, and we're waiting on two kids to play each other now. So I don't know what's happening.
So there you go. That's falling apart.
Yep. Who would have guessed leading into it as it limped off the starting line 2 weeks late?
There it goes. That's falling apart.
So-
Quote Chris Roper.
So that brings us to the end of the show. One. I don't know if you guys have anything else. Does anybody have anything to mention here? I got one good one.
We got
but
exclusive Buzz reviews coming up, so look for stuff on Buzz Trivia.
that's pretty good. Here's the cool thing. I don't know if we'll be able to do something, given the timing, special for Beyond listeners, but we may be able to do that depending on how this is working. But regardless, next week sometime, assuming that everything lines up correctly, sometime midweek probably, we will be getting a bunch of Little Big Planet beta keys.
What?
And we will be giving those away to our readers. Now, here's the thing, is Sony would like people they don't need numbers to get in there. They want people to get in there and be creative and create cool things and experiment and have all those sorts of things.
Quality over quantity is what they're looking for here.
Exactly, quality over quantity. So what we're going to do, something along the lines of stay tuned for the details on this one. We put up the story about this. Stay detailed, also stay detailed. But think about it in the back of your head that if you had the chance to create a Little Big Planet level, what would you make? And we're going to basically say, hey, send us your ideas, and if you have a cool idea, we'll send you a key, and then you make it, and then we'll send it to us, and then we'll highlight some of the cooler levels.
When we do this, please pay attention to the details. I'm assuming we're going to put some kind of word cap on this thing. Do not write me 3 pages, because we actually have to go through, correct me if I'm wrong, read these, and then send people individually keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. If you write 3 pages, I'm immediately deleting your entry.
This is a
No more than a paragraph.
I'm gonna tell you this one. It's an undertaking on our end to hand out these keys.
Yeah.
So please be kind and send us just a little 2-sentence thing. But again, we'll have details on how this will work later on next week. But we will be giving away the keys. You can get in there. I can tell you, I believe, hopefully Sony doesn't kill me on this one, the details of the beta is that there's going to be a few levels for you to play. and then in a little secret area, if you get one of the secrets, there's kind of a cool thing to find in there, a bunch of stuff to collect. And then once you've beaten the levels that are there, the full crater opens up. So the full thing will be there. You might not have all the parts, but all the tools will be there. You can make whatever levels you want. You can upload them. You can tag them. You can do all that kind of stuff. So the full functionality of the complete game will be there for you. You might be missing some of the stickers and stuff, but if you think that you can make it in the real game, you can probably at least come close in the beta.
Okay.
So you will be able to do a lot of really cool things with it. So get your ideas going in the back of your head. When we say send us your shizzle, then go ahead and send us your shizzle. And
so they should not send shizzle yet.
Do not send it
Oh,
now,
God, don't start
or you will be
sending stuff now.
deleted. We will. You know what I'm going to do is, and the thing to make it easier for us, I'm going to have to make sure people can follow directions. Is I'll have a specific subject line for you to put in there. Help Outlook filter it for us.
Thank God.
And anyway, so you send those in there, and we'll send you some keys. So that should be pretty cool. So
Neat.
there we go. That should be pretty cool. So let's get on with the tune for the end of the song. What is happening this week on that end?
We are going to do some more freestyling here.
I was actually just going to ask you, it helps if we pick out a style or a tone,
Sure.
and I don't really know.
Oh, well,
what do you feel like doing?
Do you want to sing, or are you just giving me a beat, or do you want me to give you a beat this time and you go?
It's up to you.
I want you to decide, Sicky.
Sicky?
You've had a rough week. Just tell me what you want to do.
Well, I don't know. I need to brainstorm what kind of style we're
Oh,
going to
my
do.
Lord.
I can give it to you.
All right.
I want to hear a country song.
Ooh, that probably would be the one thing that I do not know how to do.
Well,
but,
I can just give you the country beat and you can go.
okay. Well, I came into the town and I don't know what key we're singing in, but I saw a little possum and he came up to me and said, and he said, hey, mister, I need a little loving.
Talk about a truck. Talk about a truck. It's a truck and a country song.
So I got in my truck and I picked up the possum. We drove into town, and we got all loving up in that truck.
Beyond. I'd like to point out that I am a country music fan, and even I am offended at the way this song went.
Yeah, I don't think any country stars ever sang about loving a possum in their truck, but
Probably not, but they definitely sing about trucks.
yes,
True.
it's
All
true.
right, you guys want to do another one? Should we call it at the end of the show?
I think that was good. I'm close
Wanna
enough.
do
That was a disaster, but
Ryan, why don't you just lead us out with a beat? We don't need any more lyrics. So just lead us out with a beat. All right, we will see you guys next week on Podcast Beyond.
Beyond potato.
Beyond.
Potato.
Beyond.
Potato.
Beyond.
Tater.
Beyond.
French fries.
Beyond.
Cottage fries.
Beyond.
Potato.